What is the biggest concern when it comes to long-term vision among people with myopia?
I think it depends on the type of myopia.
Okay.
I'm, if you're, yeah, I see patients who are minus 15 or minus 18. Um, they are advised, for instance, not to play contact sports, or because any kind of jolt to the head or specifically to the eye could dislodge their retinas. Their retinas are, you know, holding on for dear life, if you will, because they're so thin. Um, I think that, I mentioned the fighter pilot circumstance. I mean, there are certain locations you can't do if you're nearsighted. And so that could be limiting for an individual, teenager, an adult, who might have aspirations to do something. We both have mentioned a couple times some of the comorbidities with myopia. Retinal detachment's a big one. Glaucoma seems to go hand in hand in its earlier onset glaucoma, like in your 40s or 50s, versus your 60s or 70s, and earlier onset cataracts can develop as well. And that's a situation, glaucoma is a situation of like having hypertension of the eye or high intraocular pressure. It's painless, so you might not know that you're developing that, but it can damage the optic nerve. That's that telephone cable that connects the eye to the brain. And the head of it, as it enters the eye, unfortunately, starts to cup with higher pressure. So that cupping can sometimes be reversible in childhood, not in adults. It destroys, nerve fibers that transfer that uh, chemical electrical energy from the retina to the very back of the brain where what you're seeing is in process. So if the nerve isn't functioning, those signals won't get to your brain and you won't be able to see. So glaucoma, cataracts is when the lens, which is a football-shaped structure that is suspended in the middle part of the eye and changes in thickness depending on if you're seeing or looking at something up close versus something at intermediate distance versus something at a distance. It actually changes shape, just like the lens of a camera. You dial in or dial out. The lens in the eye kind of does the same thing. If it gets cloudy, that's called a cataract, and that seems to develop in high grade or more progressive forms of myopia. And that can come on earlier too, 30s or 40s rather than 60s or 70s or not at all. So those are some of the things you need to talk about, with with the individual who is identified as having high myopia or progressive myopia.